introduce someone that chose to spend today in Providence with us, Kayla Powell, who's the Rapid Response Communications Manager for the Transgender Day.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Mayor Lorza. Thank you, Nika. Thank you, Peyton, for those words. That was amazing. It's true that I came here from Washington, D.C. today, specifically to be here for the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Once a year, we all come together as a community in all of our wonderful diversity to mark those who we have lost. And when I thought to myself where I want to spend that day, what community I want to be in fellowship with when we were marking that, it's here. So I don't want to say happy, but I'm glad that I'm here today to mark this day with you. One thing that I was told earlier today that just kind of demonstrates the commitment that this city has to the trans community. I was just told earlier today that, and I wanted to thank Mayor Lorza for opening the Zucker Little Recreation Center here in Providence for trans people for Thanksgiving who may not have another place to go, which is just an amazing step. It's really incredible. So thanks to you, to the city, and to Thundermist and Project Fearless, and to my colleagues at TGI Network for hosting that. That's really amazing. I'm not going to hit this anymore because it makes it go boom. I also am not great at improv, so I'm just going to read a statement. Every year I'm asked by friends and allies, cis folks who care about trans people, what they can do, what anyone can do on this day to prevent these tragedies. Passing laws that protect the dignity and rights of transgender people are a start, they're a step. But each of these beautiful lives that have been taken from us, and to be clear, they have not been lost, they have been taken from us, whether by someone's hand or by pressure from a society that does not accept them, they have been taken from us. They deserve a community they could trust and in which they could safely be themselves. But it's understandable that people who are isolated from and alienated by their communities will not trust that community. People who are routinely abused by the police, as so many transgender people of color are, may not trust the police. People who are disregarded, invalidated, and erased by their government will not trust their government, and that's why it's so important that we take these steps, that we continue moving forward. The failure to protect and serve some of the most vulnerable people in our country today encourages this violence. It provokes this violence. It renders too many transgender people of color, and specifically Black transgender women, invisible. Their lives and struggles only noticed once their blood has been spilled. Today, as we remember those whose lives have been taken due to hate and due to prejudice, we must recommit ourselves to real, lasting, and life-saving change. So what can you do? If you're sitting in this room and you're not transgender, if you're a cisgender person, what can you do? First of all, welcome transgender people into your community, into our community, because we're already a part of it. If you're hire transgender people. We can do all of the same things. We have all of the same skills. If you're a parent, if you're a teacher, push for policies that keep transgender youth in school, because this is something that isn't talked about. Bullying and harassment and kids being forced into homeschooling and kids not getting the education that they need to succeed is a huge problem. Again, especially for transgender people of color. So push for that. If you work in law enforcement, fight for training, fight for sound policies, and fight to give meaning to the oath you swore to protect and serve. I know that's what you want to do. None of us can ignore prejudice and hate without promoting prejudice and hate. Therefore, it is incumbent on all of us to fight for a better today, not necessarily for just tomorrow. We must fight like the lives of transgender people depend on it, because the lives of transgender people depend on it. Thank you, everyone.